Hello, hello, hello. I like that music, when it goes. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, tonight, any moment in a minute, I am expecting Mark Unique Fowler, um, and that should be interesting. I hope everybody is okay. Um, so, don't forget, guys, if you want to message any messages, please do leave me some comments, messages, so I can ask him any questions you want me to. Ask Mark any questions, or just any support and everything. Be so grateful. Also, I don't know if you know, we're doing a charity event at the weekend on the Saturday or Sunday, and down the bottom on the screen, a bit later, it will be a link there towards Mind, and if you could kindly donate to Mind to the charity, I'd be so grateful. Um, at the end of the day, you know, even if you donate like a pound or two, it helps and it goes far. Okay, I'm just waiting for Mark now to come. So he should do any minute. Um, so he should be here. Um, any moment, guys. So we're just waiting for him to pop in. Popping in, popping in. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Um, can you ask him if he's in? Tell him to come in and come back out again. Yeah. So we're just kind of like, hello guys. Yeah, we're just waiting for Mark to come in. We just got a bit of an issue at the moment. We always do. He will come in any minute. He's on the outside, and we're just waiting for him to come in. So don't forget, guys, leave some comments in the comments box, and hopefully he will be here in a couple of minutes. I did send a link. Or did I? Yes, I did. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. Don't worry. He's coming in now. Sent him a link. Jane Bucko, hello. So please share, guys. Won't be long now. And we'll be there. So anyway, how's everybody been up to today? Everybody all right? Okay, here we go.
Clear?
Hello.
Good evening to you, Steve. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, that's fantastic, because last time I had a bit of problems with integrity and everything with the microphone. My fault, though, but I haven't done it this time.
Okay. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this. I really appreciate this. This is brilliant, wonderful for me. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I was kind of like looking at your stuff earlier.
Or on
and
Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah, and I've been doing my research on you,
Oh,
as I usually do on people. And yeah, it will help. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Could you tell me what started you, kind of dressing up and being, the unique person that you are?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, I would say it's all started around when I was a very young teen, around 13 years of age, when I kind of got into the music, in other words, and I had to kind of thank my father for that, because he used to be a radio presenter for the hospitals, and it
Hmm.
used to be St Luke's Hospital in Guildford.
All right. Yeah.
And he used to do live radio shows and also pre-recorded. And he used to pre-record some of the shows on a reel-to-reel, because sometimes he used to do like competitions as well for the wards and everything else. So I would go along with him. I would sit in the back and I would just kind of watch him and see what he does. I always found it fascinating, absolutely loved it. And my father really got me into music, really. And I'm talking out to the age, from the age of probably 11, 12 years of age.
Right. Okay.
And then when I kind of used to start off with the kind of music of that era. So you're looking at people like, do you remember Peterson Lee? Hey, Mr.
Oh
Music
yes.
Man. Yeah. Oh,
Welcome
yeah.
on.
That was my first single I
Welcome.
brought, actually. That was my first single, believe it or not. And then you had people like ABBA that come along, and other people, and Elton John, and all the
Yeah.
influences. And then, because I was growing up in the glam period, so you had people like Gary Glitter, you had Slade, all the great bands of that time. And then going a bit further into more into the 70s, like 76, you had then kind of the punk movement.
Right.
And it was a kind of a voice for the youth, because times were pretty bad back then, a bit similar to what we're going through now, actually. And I think probably a bit more worse, actually, as well, with the COVID and everything else. Because you had the same thing, like people losing their jobs, and also lots of strikes going on and everything else like that. And it was a kind of a voice for all the youth of that time. So it was the image I loved, because I just love Vivienne Westwood and everyone that kind of created all that image, and Malcolm McLaren as well.
Mm.
I loved all that, all the Zips and everything else. And I loved the music as well. I loved the Sex Pistols. I loved the Damned. I loved the Clash. I even liked the Ramones as well, which came from America, because they were kind of punk as well, but more the American scene at that time. And then, of course, you had Blondie as well, which I fell in love with in the 70s as well, 77 as well.
Okay.
And it just kind of it really excited me. I know the music could be aggressive to certain people when they were listening to it. Fair enough, yeah, it was, but it was loud and it had attitude, and I loved it. And it had an image. It had an image. And you couldn't buy that image in a shop. You had to create that image, like Vivienne Westwood did, as Vivienne Westwood did with Malcolm McLaren, when they used to have the shop called Sex, where you could buy all the actual clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then back in those days, it got a bit commercial. So you had like newspapers like The Sun and the Daily Mirror that would be selling like tartan trousers and things like that. And then it kind of lost its appeal then with the punk scene. And the punk scene, I think, only lasted around about 2 years. It was very, very short-lived. And like the Sex Pistols were the main band of that era. And they only made one album, actually, one album. And then a feature film as well with The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, which is a highly recommended watch as well. And then, of course, when you had the punk scene finishing, you had disco gradually coming in. And I love the actual the kind of the costumes as well. It's very feminine. Oh, it's absolutely amazing and very artistic as well. The music was great. The music was fun. It was very energizing. You had people like Donna Summer and all those great people. And even ABBA then got into kind of the disco scene as well. And then you had Blondie kind of got into it as well, with Heart of Glass as well. So that was the disco, and I loved all that. Then that come to an end, and then guess what came along from that? So you had the Sex Pistols, then you had the punk scene, then you had the disco, then you had the New Romantics, and then you had Mr. Steve Strange that came along, and he pioneered all of that. He pioneered the club scene, and I have to say hello to Tanya, but hopefully she's just listening now. Hello, Tanya. Love you loads. And he pioneered the club scene. So the clubs that you have today, you have to thank Steve Strange for, because he was the pioneer of the very first one. And you're looking at like the club, he used to have a very small club called Hell, H-E-L. And then it moved along to the Blitz Club.
Yeah.
And there's two famous stories with that. One with Mick Jagger that turned up, but he wasn't dressed right, so Steve Strange refused him. But there was another story saying that he was drunk, but that wasn't the true story, because I got that from Steve Strange. And also the other one was with David Bowie that visited the Blitz Club as well. And he visited the Blitz Club because he liked the scene. And David Bowie was always changing. He was always 2 steps ahead with everything. And he wanted Steve Strange to choreograph the video Ashes to Ashes, and also have the Blitz kids in the actual video. So if you've ever seen that video, Ashes to Ashes, you'll see Steve Strange in that with the Blitz kids as well. And he then David Bowie then kind of copied a little bit of Steve Strange's dance movement with Ashes to Ashes when he's going down like this.
All right, yeah.
On the beach with a digger, and the digger was catching Steve's kind of back of his dress, so he was pulling it away. But when he was doing that, David Bowie used that in the song Fashion as well at the beginning of the video, and you'll see all that. And then, of course, that's the Blitz. And then later on, Steve wanted to go even more bigger. And then you had the Camden Palace, which was an amazing place in London. And I think it's called, then it changed to Coco, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's changed to something else now. It's still there, but it's under a different name, different management. And and then you had Visage, the band that come along. And this is even before Boy George was really famous then, because Boy George used to work for Steve Strange in the Blitz Club. He used to work in the cloakroom and everything. So, and then Steve Strange was doing the club scene. He was doing catwalks as well. And then kind of went to a party because Steve Strange lived in Wales, Porthcawl, with Gillian and Tanya. And he wanted to come away from that because Porthcawl, there wasn't much really going on. And Steve Strange was very, very creative. You can see within the band Visage, he was the face of Visage. He was the main front singer of the band as well. He wanted to come out and he heard about the scene in London. And he wanted to be a part of that. Well, he was doing art college. And he moved in with one of the members from the Sex Pistols. And forgive me, but I still can't think of his name, unfortunately. But he moved with him because he said, oh, you can come down to London. You can stay with me, Steve. And what you can do, you can design our posters for our concerts for the Sex Pistols before they came really, really big with Malcolm McLaren and everyone. So he took the opportunity, went along. And then going to a party, and I believe that Midge and Billy Curry from Ultravox, but not the old Ultravox with John Fox, the new Ultravox with Midge. He said, oh, I wonder if Steve would be interested in doing a backing track called In the Year 2525 and see how he comes along in voice and everything. It's an old classic song, I think, from the 60s actually as well. And he did. He recorded it. It was never released as a single, but it's always on a compilation. And Midge liked Steve's voice. And he said he also liked his image as well. And he said, oh, he's the front man for the band. And that's basically how Visage started. But what used to frustrate Steve Strange a lot, and I found that out when I first met him in 2013 at a gig, which I'll go more into. What used to frustrate him is that Visage didn't really play live as a band, as a gig or a concert. If Steve did kind of live kind of promotion work, like Top of the Pops, for instance, it'd either be mimed or the vocals would be live, but there'd be no actual live band because Midge was concentrating on Ultravox at the time with Billy Curry. And that's the reason why. So that used to kind of upset Steve a little bit. But Visage went on for a long, long time. They made 3 albums. They did the debut album with the classic second single, Fade to Grey, which I believe was number 1 in 13 countries. Then you had the follow-up album, which was amazing as well, called The Anvil. And then you had the last album, which was Beat Boy. But unfortunately, Beat Boy didn't have the writing credits of Midge and Billy Curry and Rusty Egan at the time because there's a bit of a fallout and everything else. But Steve kept the Visage going along. And then other things started, but I won't go too much into that. It's quite delicate. And then Visage kind of finished. And then Steve Strange still wanted to carry on. So he did another band called Strange Cruise. Which is a good band. Like the album, very underrated. Really like the album. I still play it today. But they only lasted about 2 years. So you're looking probably around, say, 1986, 87. And then everything went quiet. And then, of course, in year 2001, Apple came out with the iPod and streaming music. which was amazing, absolutely amazing. Wow, fantastic, really excited about that. I've got the very, very first iPod still as well, amazingly enough. Yeah,
Have you?
I love them. They're so chunky and great. Yeah, the design of them was
Those
amazing.
falling out, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I've got, they're collector items now. They can go up to about £1,000, £2,000 if you sell them. I won't, because I like all the Apple stuff. I just keep it. So, and then of course when iTunes came up, I just kind of when iTunes came up, you go into it and you see what music's in there of your genre. Because
Yeah.
I was a bit frustrated because I thought there wasn't much 70s or 80s music, and there was more than new music. I understood that because it's a new thing, and they're trying to get an audience, a younger audience. And then, of course, the 70s and the 80s then kind of came along even more and more music going in it. But I noticed Visage was in there, and it had the first album, and it had the first album, but it had a few compilations. It didn't have the Anvil or Beat Boy. But I saw there was another album called Hearts and Knives, and this is 2013. And I thought, okay, this is good. So just see if I can see anything on the web. And they were doing a kind of a gig in London, kind of a secret gig. And it was at the Hoxton, which was the 5th of June, 2013. So it was a meet and greet as well. So I got the whole package. And on the day I went there, and I went to the bar. And this young lady, I think because of the word Visage, she didn't really understand what I was trying to say to her. But all I was asking is, can you just let me know where the Visage are playing? But another guy overheard what I had said. So it's just beyond there, mate, and beyond the black curtain. So I go along, poke my head in that black curtain. And I go in, and it's the foyer. And you see all the merchandise for Visage, like the CDs and badges and everything else. And I could hear Visage playing in the background. They were rehearsing. And it was a great track called The Anvil off the debut album. And as I was listening to it, the guy then came in from where they were rehearsing to me. Oh, excuse me, why are you here? Why are you standing here? I said, I've come for the actual gig to see Visage. You shouldn't really be here, but if you keep quiet and stay there, you'll be fine. Oh, well, thank you very much. And that. So I stayed there, still listening. Then another person popped his head through the black curtain and then introduced himself. And it was a guy from the BBC. And he said, I'm come to interview Steve Strange. I said, oh, brilliant. I'm just here to actually see the gig and everything else, because this is the first time Visage ever played live as a band, as a full band. So I'm really excited for this. And the rumour is that Boy George is going to be here as well. And what the rumour is that Boy George had a mask made up of the Fade to Grey image, and he was going to wear it. And he was actually there, but unfortunately I didn't see him because I was too much at the front watching Visage. So I wasn't too sure. People said he was there because they noted he was there. And then Steve Strange, then the music stopped, and then the band came out one by one. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. And then Steve Strange came out, and he gave me eye contact, and he said, oh, thank you so much for coming along, and I appreciate your support. And I said, you're very welcome, Steve. You're very, very welcome. And then the concert started. Then we had the meet and greet, and he bought everyone a meal at the meet and greet as well. And I was just sitting down eating my meal, and I was just observing Steve to see how he was when he was engaging with other people. And he was amazing. He gave everyone that time as well. Lovely, lovely guy, sincere, beautiful man. And he signed all my stuff that I took along, CDs and photos and that. And then it was quite a hot day, and Steve was complaining because of his hay fever was playing up. And I turned around and said to him, Steve, I've actually got a hay fever tablet. I said, do you want to take it and that? He said, yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, hold on, I'll get it for you. So I got out my bag. So there you go, Steve. And he said, excuse me, everyone in the room. Just want to take note that this isn't drugs. This is just for hay fever. And then he turned and said, Mum, are they non-drowsy? I said, yes, Steve, they are. I don't want to affect the performance tonight and get blamed for it. And he said, just give me a kiss and a cuddle. And he did. He gave me a kiss and a cuddle. He was a lovely man. But from that, I then met other people connected with him, other kind of famous people like Tommy Mack, who was a dancer for Top of the Pops and for Kelly Marie. And you've got people like Spandau Ballet, you've got Martin Fry from ABC. I just don't want to go too much with it because I don't want to get too big head over it. But it's a lot of people that know my name, Mark Unique, and what I do as my image. I don't copy Steve Strange. I take influences from him, and I have my own unique look. I'm always being told no one's doing my look that I'm doing. As you can see, I've only got a top hat that I normally wear in my photo shoots and a shirt, and the makeup I haven't got on. There's a reason for that. It's because my name's Mark Unique, but my skills are designing and styling, and I work with makeup artists, but I create that makeup face with them and then have the whole look at the end of it. At the moment, I've done quite a few photo shoots already with quite a few photographers, and been in quite a few magazines as well. And the most recent one is Integrity, and I have Alea to thank for that, and also Andy Bell. Thank you very much to them both. And my very, very first magazine was Warrington Worldwide, and I have Paul Jackson to thank for that as well, and Rebecca Tupman, because she was my very, very first makeup artist. But I've done quite a few photo shoots, done about 9 photo shoots at the moment, and I've got one hopefully planned for next year, February and March, called Unique Panchromatic, with a lovely photographer called Rupert, a makeup artist called Inga Rock, and I've also got a lovely lady called Emma, who I work with in my place of work, and she's designed 3 sets of sculptured nails for me as well.
All right.
Yeah, I also have a guest model, Iona, who I've worked with as well in photo shoots. And I also have a lovely celebrity, Jane Buckle, as well within the photo shoot as well. And I've also got the guys coming along from Target Film Studios as well. So let me just get my little list here, because I don't want to miss out people's names. So from Target Film Studios, I've got Neil, Stu, Wayne, Julian, and Andy coming along. And I've been very fortunate, and I have to thank Andy Bell from Integrity, and also Alea, because she gave me my first interview with Andy Bell. And then Andy Bell has put my name forward to Neil. So I'm classed now as an actor as well. So we are looking into, in the next couple of months in the new year, to do a film project. And I'm really, really excited for that. It's a new kind of concept for me as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I thank Neil for that as well. I know Neil's listening and the other guys, so I'll say hello to everyone. So I've got that to look forward to. And then I've got the new photo shoot as well called Unique Panchromatic to look forward to as well. And I've also done other things as well with another lady from Russia called Yana Flame, International Flame Anniversary Festivals.
Yeah.
And I did an event, you've probably seen the photos of that, in London at the Royal Horse Guards Hotel. And I know that Yana is looking into doing something else very similar for next year as well. So that may be something in the pipeline for next year for me as well. So I'm always been creative. Because of lockdown, I know people can't deal with it and everything else. I understand all that. It's been okay for me because the most important thing with lockdown is keeping your mind occupied, isn't it? And I know you have a lot to do with mind as well, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's nice if everyone does a donation as well. Really nice.
Thank you very much.
Donation already.
Thank you.
And it's also good to be occupied. And what's occupied me is doing my modeling and my creative side. And it's helped a lot, actually. It really, really helped to stay focused. And since, as of today, funny enough, before the interview, I've got this gentleman's name here. I had a guy get in contact with me. I could try and get his name here. On here. No, I haven't got it. But it's a project to do with safeguarding, safeguarding life, not a knife or something, yeah?
Right.
And it's something on Facebook that this gentleman came through to me. Hold on, I'll try and see if I can get him on my phone. Because I've got a funny, I can't remember his name's called Andy. It's called Andy Dunsmore. And he liked my reaction to his question, what he thought about me about knife crime and why it isn't everything else. And he liked my answer because it's very, very similar to him. And he said to me, would you be interested in doing a project with me for next year? Like, we're getting some artists to do some music and we need someone to do a compilation of a video to it as well. And I said, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll give it a go. Yeah, by all means, I'll help out for you. So that might be something for next year as well for me as well. Because he's checked me out on my YouTube channel, Mark Unique Fowler, and he's liked the videos I do because I create my own kind of promotional videos as well.
Right, okay.
Even a slideshow with photos and music and effects. I do a lot of vlogs similar to this, and hopefully this will go on to the YouTube channel as well. And the vlogs are like updates of where I'm going with a photo shoot, if I have one in mind, or kind of an introduction to me and who I am and why I'm called Mark Unique. Unique. and what I do as well. So that's all through my YouTube channel. And then, of course, people can follow me on Facebook, Mark Unique Fowler, and Instagram, Mark_Unique Fowler 1966. And I've also got another good thing as well, which I was really kind of happy with. I got kind of headhunted by a guy from America called Corey, and he runs an exclusive social media platform called Enter Backstage. And what it is, you subscribe to my actual page, so you can see my photos and the videos and everything else. So what happens is, people that pay for that money then comes out and it goes back into my photo shoots to buy costume pieces or to buy other things. And it's also the same with my Pickfair photography gallery, where you can buy my imagery as well, either a photo or a canvas. I don't spend that money on going out and things like that. I don't do any of that. It has to help doing what I'm doing as Mark Unique, because my photo shoots are done on budgets. They're not done on lavish kind of places and Hollywood kind of thing. What you got to remember, the Blitz Kids, when Steve Strange was around, the whole look was done on a budget. So it was done like clothes from an Oxfam shop or a jumble sale. And the uniqueness of it is how you kind of created a style for the clothes and an image. And that's what I try to do with my unique look as well. I don't buy designer clothing, nothing like that. Like this kind of top hat, this is a steampunk, but it's a one-off. It's made for me. So you won't buy a duplicate. You won't see a second version of this. It's just a one-off. So it's good for me because it's good for my image being unique. And there's a unique top hat as well. And I love these top hats. These are my trademark as well. So I love all these.
So how many costumes have you got then?
Now, since I've been doing this, so when I met Steve Strange in 2013, I've been doing it since then. I did a few things before that with like experiment, because I do some makeup. I'm not saying I don't do any makeup. I do some makeup faces. I've done other photo shoots as well. I've got quite a few. I could probably say I've probably got about, I'd say 10 to 12 costumes actually. So I can do something totally different. It's like with the Unique Panchromatic, I'm doing 3 styling images. Inga Rock is doing 3 makeup faces for me. Emma's done 3 unique sculptured nails for me. And what I'm doing this time is, because I normally do a full body one, which is like trousers, shirt, hat, and everything else. This one, I'm doing hat, makeup face, a shirt, fishnet tights, and high heels, and a vintage cane. I know Jane's listening in because she's seen my photos already, because I've done like storyboards. I'm quite creative with doing that. I always create a storyboard so I know where I'm going. But I always start with my hat first, and that's what gives me the inspiration to create the rest of the look. And then I work with, at the moment, I work with the Inga Rock, and he's designing the actual makeup faces. Emma's completed the nails now, so that's all been done. Just got to wait for the day now. And I'm just waiting for the Inga Rock to do the very, very first makeup face chart for me. And then the second one and the third one. And then I've got Rupert then doing the photo shoot for me. And he's a lovely, lovely gentleman. For him as well. I have kind of met him before at Yana Flame's event last year. That's how we met. And that's how we've kind of built a really good relationship, a professional relationship as well. He's excited. He likes what I do. He says, you're very, very unique and you're very, very talented. And he says, I like what you do as well. So, yeah, that's me, really. So, yeah, I love what I do. I love what I do. And doing these little radio show, live things, brilliant. It just gets me out.
Do you think you're unique?
So again?
Do you think you are unique?
Yeah. I had the royal approval, actually. One from Gillian Harrington, which is Steve Strange's mother, and the other one, and also from Tanya Harrington as well. Yeah, right. Because they're the mother and the sister of Steve Strange. There you go. And I've also had the royal approval from Tommy Mack as well. He says, unique, that's you. Keep doing what you're doing because your time will come, Mark. It will come. Keep doing what you're doing. So, yeah, he likes what I do. And he's a club entrepreneur. So he now has his VIP events, 381, Tommy Mack, club entrepreneur. So when last year, I was getting invited to VIP events, so I would dress up and I'd go along with him as well, and also with another great gentleman called Christopher Darling. So I would go along to Tommy Mack's VIP events. So I've got a lot to thank Tommy Mack for as well. So he knows how the club scene works and everything else. He's a great, lovely, lovely guy. Got so much respect for him.
Good. Do you think? Do you ever go outside in public and just go along the road wearing your costume?
Yeah, of course I do. Actually, that's a good question. I do actually, because when I had my because I started working with professional photographers back in 2017 actually, and then knowing Tommy Mack, I always went to events and I got dressed up and I'd go out like that, but then I'd have photographers taking photos of me. But they weren't my main photographer. That didn't start until around 2016 when I had Violet Butler as my first ever professional photographer. And yes, I would. I'm not shy. I'm proud, and I'm proud to stand out. And I think it's good to express yourself and also be safe with that as well. It's good for personality as well, and people do like it. I live in Guildford. I just get the looks. That's it. But when I went to London, you get people coming up to you, oh, can I have a photo of you, please? Oh, my God, you look amazing. Oh, my God, who does your makeup for? Oh, my God, where'd you get your clothes from? And that's that reaction to London compared to where I am in Guildford. It's a bit different. But I've only had probably one run-in when we had a photo shoot with Violet when I went to, I think, to a VIP event for Tommy Mack in London. And we did a photo shoot before it. And then we went to the VIP event after. And that was my black and white image, where I've got the kind of the Wi-Fi signal on my face, but I kind of changed it and exaggerated the lips and everything else. Mm. And we were walking to another destination, and then these, I think, 5 kids just said some horrible things to us. And it was Halloween night as well. It was Halloween in London. And I just said, oh, right, let's just move on. I said, okay, guys, thanks very much. Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And we just walked on. So that's the only time I've had a kind of bit of abuse in that verse. But it's fine. I can deal with it. It's not a problem. So,
yeah. Do you think you're strange?
Yeah. Because I like strange people. I like weird people, and I like people that are totally different. And also, they're not afraid to express themselves as well. Like Steve Strange, David Bowie, Pete Burns from Dead or Alive, even Divine as well. People like that. Got a lot of respect for them. They've crossed a lot of boundaries as well with their imagery as well, and also with the sexual side of things as well. Because you don't see many guys in fishnet tights and high heels and a shirt nowadays, do you?
No.
And I've always been told from my fans, from my lady fans, that I've got a good pair of legs. So hence why I'm going to do it in this next photo shoot as well. So yeah.
What was that about actually? About you being dressed up in fishnet tights and and high heels? What was that about then? I saw some pictures of that.
I tell you, well, I get my inspiration that I could listen to a song or I can watch a film. It stays in my head. I can even have a dream, because when I did my integrity interview, I had a dream the night before, and it gave me an idea for a photo shoot called Dark and Light, and I did it. I did some makeup, got a hat on, got a shirt on, took photos from my iPhone, re-edited them, and then put in my Picfair gallery shot, things like that. That's how I get my ideas. But the idea with the fishnet tights and the high heels actually come from Steve Strange with the high heels. But the fishnet tights has come from Pete Burns from Dead or Alive. And I thought, let's try both combinations to see what that looks like. And wow, it looks, because when I create a look, I always do a dress rehearsal because I want to make sure it looks good. Yeah. And not stupid, in other words. So I always, because I'm very conscious with that, and I want it to be perfect. And when we have a photo shoot, I don't want to be flapping around and things like that. I just want to get it done. And that's what Rupert likes about me as well. He knows my vision. He knows where I'm going with it as well, and also on a professional side as well. So yeah, I always do a dress rehearsal just to be sure of the image.
Yeah, social media and people can be very, very nasty.
I've had that already. I had quite a few people saying to me, "You're not effing Steve Strange," and I say, "I know I'm not Steve Strange, and I'm not trying to be Steve Strange. I'm just taking the influences from Steve Strange's image. I'm not copying him at all. And then they kind of like don't react to that at all. Yeah, it's kind of diffused there. I'm quite good at diffused in situations like that.
Yeah, because it
Because what
can
they
be.
want you to do, they want you to react in an angry way, and it goes on and on. No. I just diffuse the whole thing, so I can't be
Yeah,
dealing
I,
with it.
I had a bit of a problem on Monday with some the other day with somebody, and
Oh wow.
I put a status on. Yeah. What it is, why I do this is because I've had several strokes and some of the I had a stroke and I couldn't talk very good.
Oh
And
yeah.
what it was, I was so afraid to I've done a lot of television and film work and stuff like that, but I was afraid to kind of like do this. And since July, I've kind of been doing this now, and
Yeah.
every time it just goes up and goes up. Get a lot of followers. People love coming on because I like to talk to people. Like it's not like an ordinary interview. It's just like you know, it's just open. I don't care what people say. Okay, I just try to I try to get into someone's mind and find out about them more. You know what I mean?
That's what
And
people don't do, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? They don't do that. They don't. They always assume too much nowadays. They don't ask that question, do they? Or they don't. Yeah.
no,
So I see.
yeah,
Yeah. There's no politeness, unfortunately. Yeah.
no.
But
I said, but see, the trouble is, Sophie, what I've got to say about you is this: that some people can probably watch you now, and they're probably saying, "Okay, yeah, that's his thing. That's what he does." And good. But there's got to be something more than you. You know what I mean? There's
yeah.
got to be something different than you.
Mm.
What would you say about that?
I tell you what, the reason why I am is because that's a really good question. It's because of my past, and I don't normally talk about my past. I appreciate my childhood. I had a good childhood. I had two brothers as well. I have two twin brothers, but not identical. I had a mother and father. Father was in the army and the police force, and my mum was a nurse and everything. But I didn't have a good childhood growing up with my father because at the age of 13, I knew I was different. And when I say different, I mean that I knew I was either gay or I was straight. And I had a girlfriend and a boyfriend kind of thing. So I was very confused. Yeah, it's a bit like David Bowie's song Spaceball. Do you like girls or do you like boys?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I hear that song, that takes me back to that. In other words, it's a power of a song, isn't it? Yeah, kind of gives you a flashback. And my father, I was always very eccentric, and I say it's a bit strange because I'd be in my bedroom and I would do like when you're a kid, listening to music, and I do my own chart rundown, top 20, and
Right.
I do my own little radio show. And I go, right, here's the number 20. It's up 4 places from so-and-so, and all that sort of things, right? And I write it all down. I put it into a book, and I catalogue it in the house, yeah? That's what I used to do. But my father used to hate me doing things like that, being in my room. He used to think it's being unsociable, but I didn't see it that way. I saw it as being creative. My parents had never been supportive. They never pushed me as a child. I always felt I pushed myself. I had a good relationship with my mum, which I thought I did. But see, when I was 13 and then when I turned 17, my father found out that I was gay. So I basically got kicked out. I got thrown out because of it. My father also beat me up as well and also strangled me as well and things like that. So it wasn't very nice. And that was back in 1985. Never forget, 27th September 1985 at Gary Newman concert, which I couldn't go to at Guildford Civic Hall because I got kicked out of my house from my parents. And my relationship with my parents had been going on from 1985 to now, really. And it was a bit rocky. I had a boyfriend, Michael, that was into theatre. So he got me into meeting all the celebrities. Like I've met Eartha Kitt. I've met a lot of famous people through my boyfriend at that time, which was great. Because that's what's made me more creative and more thinking I can do what I want to do. In other words, I've got the confidence and the courage to do it.
Great.
And then I kind of... in 1995, I just woke up one morning. I don't get depressed. I don't suffer with depression. Everyone gets down, yeah? They have a kind of a grey day. And I had a grey day, and I just thought I've had enough playing Happy Families with my mum and dad. Because my mum used to invite me around for a meal, And I'd always make an excuse the next day I couldn't go. But then my mother realised that I was making an excuse because of my father, and that was the
Yeah.
reason. I was scared of him. I was really scared of my father. He thought that was funny. He was a bully, basically. And when we'd have a meal, he would say to me, "Oh, are you going to pay for the meal now?" Things like that. That's how humour, yeah, stupid, yeah, lowest form of everything, yeah. And then he'd go into the front room and watch Emmerdale, and then we'd go in and watch it with him, all quiet watching it. And then he'd say, "Oh, I'll leave you girls to talk, and I'm going to go out into my studio," because he used to do radio, amateur radio in those times, back in those times, in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've had enough of this. I've had enough. So I wrote a letter to my mum. Unfortunately, my mum didn't take my side. So that started that. And then I thought, I've had enough. I don't want nothing to do with my parents anymore. And they decided to move away from here in Guildford down to Eastbourne. So I helped them move in everything else. I even went on to car boot sales and helped them to sell stuff. And then when they moved down to Eastbourne, my father said, "Oh, you're going to come down and visit us?" Well, my mother and father have never lived on their own. So they've never experienced being on their own, yeah, and having one wage and everything else, yeah. And they don't understand that side of the money. That at that time, it was about £50 to go and see my parents, right? And you couldn't buy a single. I don't know why, but it was a lot of money. So I had a bit of an argument with my father, and that really kind of upset me. And I thought, well, that's it. I've had enough. That's why I sent my letter to my mum. And then, unfortunately, she decided to take with my father, in other words, stay with him. And that's another story. But I haven't seen my parents or spoken to my parents for almost now 12 years. And in a way, I'm proud of that, because I've taken that upon myself to do that I don't need my parents in my life. I can live my life without my parents. And I'm the proof now. Yeah. I haven't turned to drugs. I haven't turned to alcohol. I haven't turned to abusing myself because of my problems with my parents. No, I've got on with my life. I'm a very motivated, enthusiastic, and I know where my path is going, and I know what I want. I'm a Taurian, and when I've got my mind set on something, I'll get it, and I'll work hard for it, and I normally succeed with it as well. The only sad thing about it is that my parents, they must know what I do, because I think my father must know what I do on Facebook and everything else, but it would have been nice to kind of give my dad my website and him run my website and be my manager kind of thing. That would have been a nice thing, but that's not to happen. But that's it. But I'm not unhappy. I'm not happy. I'm very, very happy, actually. I'm very, very happy. Being alone doesn't mean you're unhappy. It's if you can deal with being on your own, and I can deal with being on my own. Simple as that. And I've got a great distraction. I'm a model, and now I'm going to be an actor. There you go.
Well done. Look, listen, I kind of like what you've been telling me. You know, it takes, it really takes somebody to kind of like open up. And the trouble is, whatever, if you're gay, whatever, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say.
No.
At the end of the day, it's you. You're the person, right? You be yourself, Mark. You be yourself.
I will.
And don't let any other people, people like to control people. They think that people think we're kind of like puppets on a string, and they're controlling. Don't let people control it. You enjoy your life, what you want to be.
Normally, we're the winners.
Of course we are.
We're the survivors. We're the strongest of them all.
Yeah, I have a group on Facebook called Never Give Up. All right?
I'll check that out.
Yeah, you check that out, and I'll tell you what, never give up, because, everybody's going through a tough time at the moment. Okay, and what you just kind of like said probably is helping other people, because they've been going through lots of things in relationships with their families and stuff like that. I remember when I was younger, my dad used to be, he's not now, thank goodness, but he used to be an alcoholic. He used to see those things, beat my mum up, beat me up, and things like that. But what happened was he around about, oh gosh, about 15 years ago, or no, not 15 years ago, must have been about 20 odd years ago now, all of a sudden he changed. And and you won't believe it, he's definitely changed. He's a nice bloke, really good. And I thank God, I thank God for that. But the trouble is, Susie, we're all different. That's what I'm trying to say to you. We're all different, and it doesn't matter whatever you are. Just be yourself. That's what I say to people.
It's
You
kind of,
know?
yeah. It's really strange because my father never got on with his father, and
Yeah,
my father was the oldest, and I'm
yeah,
the oldest, and it's kind of mirrored itself. Yeah,
yeah,
which is really
yeah,
weird. And I met his father once, and I was even scared of his father, to be honest, because he was quite a dominant man, very
mm,
strict. Like I never forget my mother when she used to tell this when we were young kids. Like when my father was with his father at a table having a meal, he wouldn't have conversation. And if you spoke, he had a cane. He had a cane, yeah. And if you spoke, he would whack you over the knuckles with the cane. That's how strict he was. But that's how
yeah,
it was back in those days. So
yeah. It doesn't matter who you are. You do what you want. And the trouble is, though, I only known you since yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
I've been looking on what you've been doing all day, and I always, I've been so busy with it. And the trouble is, you've done a lot and lots of stuff, and I'd like to congratulate you for that because,
thank you.
turning away from from your parents and just going out in the world and doing things yourself and helping yourself. It must have hurt, kind of like leaving your parents. Because it does
Oh,
hurt,
yeah.
doesn't it? It does hurt.
I would be inhuman, wouldn't I, if I didn't say it
Yeah,
hurt? It does
yeah,
because
yeah,
look at this. Look at Christmas, yeah. Look at birthdays, yeah. There's a reminder for you all the time, but it's your coping mechanism and how you deal with it, yeah.
yeah.
So I
How
don't
do you
try and
cope? How do you cope?
I think I cope okay. I have odd days, but when I have the odd days, I keep myself quiet. So I live here in a flat with a flatmate, a young lady called Diane. I love her loads. She's like a sister to me, and I'm a brother to her. She's had
Right?
a hard life as well, so we respect each other. And she knows when there's something not right because I'm very quiet, which is good, yeah? And I know the same with Diane as well. But that's how I deal with it. I don't like pushing my problems upon people, and I don't normally like talking to people about it. But if I have to, I have to. But then that's my choice. But
Yeah,
normally I cope with it because I know how to cope with it. And it normally means shutting myself away for 2 days to deal with it. And the way I deal with it is being creative or listening to music. And then it brings me back up again.
yeah. See, and this is why we're doing this great big charity event at the weekend. It's because mind. I walked into mind one day after a relationship. I was in a bad relationship, and I was suicidal. I was on a bridge, and I was just about to jump. I could, yeah. I hope you don't mind me talking about it.
Well, no, I've got something similar to tell you about that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's fine. Yeah, and I was on a bridge,
Oh,
um, and so I was just about to jump, and all of a sudden, I can't believe it. All of a sudden, somebody come around and says, you know, I've got a faith. I believe in God, right? And and I'm not making this up. And someone came along and said, "Do you really need to jump?" And I thought about it. Then after that, I was sectioned under the Mental Health Act, 21 of the Mental Health Act, Section 21. I was put into a psychiatric unit. I wasn't. I was just depressed. I wasn't in a psychiatric unit with everybody else with other problems and everything.
oh, okay.
I was in an acute psychiatric unit, which means like people's got depression or committed suicide things like that. And when I was in there, I was um, I was thinking about my life and everything else like that. And next minute, all of a sudden I had a voice. I thought, oh God, this must be the tablets or something, but it wasn't. And because somebody confirmed it to me, and they said, and the message was, get off your backside and live your life. And I kind of like thought to myself, okay. And I got off my backside and I started living my life. And I tell you what, I am so grateful because, I was kind of like ready to give my life away. And I went to
Mm.
mind. I went to mind. I got all the help, got the counselling, got everything else I got. And I'm so grateful for them. and they really helped me. So that's why we're doing this big event at the weekend, because they have helped me and it helped thousands of people.
It's good. I look it up as well for the weekend as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
my mum's the same. She contemplated suicide twice. One with hanging herself, and the one with drowning her and everything else. But my father, lucky enough, got her, but she was in a
yeah,
coma for about 3 or 4 days. But I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be involved with that as well. So the only
yeah,
people in my life at the moment is my aunt and uncle, and my
yeah,
uncle's mum's brother. But my aunt and uncle fully understand my reaction towards my parents, and they're not against it.
mm,
My uncle thinks very highly of me because my aunt's told me, and also my aunt thinks a lot of me. She loves me a lot.
mm,
She told me, if the time ever come, you can hold your head up, because we know you've tried to get back with your parents and that, but it hasn't succeeded. So that's
mm.
it. So I have tried, not so I haven't tried. I've tried 3 times, to be honest, but the last one was my father said, no, I don't want nothing to do with Mark, but he can have something to do with his mother. But I said to my aunt, I don't want nothing to do with my mother, because when my mother contemplates suicide again, my father will have that against me, and I don't
Yeah,
want. I
yeah.
rather.
That's not your problem. That's not your
No,
problem.
no, totally
That's
agree.
not your
Totally
problem.
agree.
That's not your problem. That's their
Totally
problem.
agree. Yeah,
You know
totally
what
agree.
I mean? So, and you've done really well. You've done really well in your life. And all I can say, I wish you the best of luck,
Thank you so
whatever you
much,
do,
Steve.
what you ever
Thank
do,
you. Thank you.
and you're a top man. Totally agree. And I think, what you've done, I thought, when I first, I'll tell you what I thought when I first, I'm a straight guy, right? I come on here and I tell people, no, 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 I tell people how I feel.
Good.
I tell people as it. They know
You're
me.
on it.
They know me, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, who the bloody hell is this? He is a strange person. He's a weirdo. And I'm thinking, and my wife said to me, but ain't you supposed to be a Christian? And I'm thinking, yes. And I was thinking to myself in my head, that bloke is a weirdo. He's a clown, right? This is what I'm being open to you. The next minute, about 5 minutes later, I'm thinking to myself, that's totally wrong. Why should I go around judging people?
Mm.
Why should I go around judging people and classing people for what they are? That's wrong, right?
Give them the merit they deserve, because normally
Yeah,
they're very clever
yeah,
people,
yeah,
and they
yes,
normally have great personalities as well. And you normally find when your time is needed, they're normally the people that will step in and help you as well.
of course, yeah. And
So
after a while, I thought, then I got talking to you. And I was thinking, this guy he's all right. And see, the trouble is, why I'm telling you this story is about how I felt about you is because sometimes when we're on social media and we don't meet each other, we can easily judge people behind, their backs and behind the scenes and everything.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so
because no one's seen each other's face value, are they?
that's
It's it's, it's
yeah,
swapping
yeah,
words all the time, and
yeah,
the words can
yeah,
get quite vicious and harmful.
yeah,
And you never see the person's expression on the face. So yeah,
yeah. I was because when I got your pics up and you was dressed up and all sorts of sorts of stuff and everything, costumes and your face and everything. I was thinking, oh my god, Then but after a while, I thought, that's him. If he wants to be like that, why? You can't change it. That's Mark.
yeah. And I can tell you, it's it's quite stressful what I do, because I'm doing everything on my own, apart from the people that help me to be Mark Unique, which I never forget, because I appreciate them
Yeah.
all, because I call them all my strange crew posse. Yeah. But if you think about it, like yourself, I do my own promotion work, I do my own videos, I do my own designing and everything else.
Mm,
But I just have a few people that work with me as well, and I always appreciate them. But not
mm.
not people just see a photo and that's all they see. They don't understand what goes behind it. Yeah.
That's it, and that's
And,
what people are like.
and it's very stressful, because I can get stressed, but it's in a way, if you can say, it's kind of a nice stress, because I enjoy
Mm,
what I do. But I have been stressed a few times, and when it does go to a bit stressed, it's quite please, yeah. Because I've had a few photographers let me down, makeup artists let me down. When you get everything organised, you have 2 or 3 people may let you down, and you think, oh my god, how am I going to get someone else and everything? So, but that's all part of that job, because that's probably how Steve Strange and Boy George and the people those times.
Yeah.
Well. I think it's part of the package.
I think we live in a world where, at the moment, where everything is just around us, and we are quick to judge people. I remember meeting Jane. I met Jane in person one day.
Oh, I love Jane. Mwah, lovely. I have her for this. Yeah, love her.
Yeah, and I met Jane. I met Jane one day, and I thought, oh my god, she's weird. Right? No, I did. I thought she was weird. Right? She'd tell you. And and I met her down in Weston-super-Mare. And she came in because I was on holiday, and I said to Jane, "Come down and we'll meet up." With a photo taken, and today I love her to bits. I've had her on here so many times. She's done so many things. She's made me laugh. I remember one particular time, my wife would tell you, I was here. I was really low. I was really depressed, and all of a sudden, Jane came on. Right, and I was trying to go to the toilet. That's how bad it was. It was so funny. She cheered. She cheered the room up, didn't she, Show? Yeah. She cheered the room up.
It's a gift. It's an absolute gift. It really is for someone to do that.
I love her to bits. Every time she comes on, right? People just come back to me and say, "When you getting her back on? When you getting her back on?" Yeah. And some people say, and sometimes people come up to me and say, "Oh, not Jane Booker again, not Jane Booker again." And it's not because they're saying not Jane Booker again, but they just can't stop laughing. Because when she does a party dance, have you seen her doing her party dancing?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, because I know Jane through through social media. I've yet to meet her in person, which I can't wait to as well.
She's a lovely woman.
She likes what I do as well, and I'm very, very lucky to have her friendship, and I love her loads. And she's also going to be in my photo shoot for next year, Unique Panchromatic as well. And then you've got Neil from the actual film company come along as well to kind of be a guest to have a look at it and see how I work, in other words. So no, she's really nice, and I've got a lot to thank her for as well. Especially with this interview now, I've got Jane to thank for that. She knows I appreciate her as well. So and I can't wait to meet her in person. I really can't wait to meet her in person.
I'll tell you what, you will love her. She is a lovely
woman. We'll get on a house on fire, like a house on fire. And we're very similar, actually. We are very, very similar. Even with clothes, we're very similar, styling and everything. She got my concept straight away, what I want her to do. She nailed it. She just nailed it. And I thought, that's it, Jane, you know what you're going to do. I ain't got to worry about you at all. Yeah.
No, she is really funny.
She's showmanship, definitely a showmanship, definitely.
Yeah, she is, yeah. And, and the trouble is, she don't care about anybody. She just does it.
That's the best attitude to have.
It is, so isn't it?
Hurt anyone. You're not going to hurt anyone.
No, that's it.
You're going to hurt is yourself, yeah? But you're not hurting anyone else, yeah?
But what she doesn't realise is, she makes people smile and laugh.
Yeah.
I've got some messages here. Look. Steve Strange will be proud of you.
Jane.
Well done, Mark. Yeah, love to yourselves. Mark is beautiful inside and out and become a special friend.
So are you, Jane. So are you. So are you.
Love you, Steve. Yeah, I love you too. You're a cinema. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's it.
And the trouble is, you two are truly a unique people. And please, I know you're coming back on with Jane again. God help me.
Can't wait.
Oh, God help me.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Watch everybody.
Yeah, watch out. Yeah.
Watch out. Yeah.
We'll put a pre-warning up there.
Yes, pre-warning, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the trouble is, don't change for anybody.
Oh, I won't.
Please, never change for anybody. Be you.
That'll take my personality away if I did that.
Yeah, don't take your personality away.
Yeah, exactly.
Be you. And I'll tell you what, we'll probably be I'll probably be having you on again with Jen in a few weeks' time, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, 20th of
Yeah.
December, I think. Yeah, 20th of December.
Yeah, what a Christmas present that is for me.
Yeah, I know. Jane's excited for this as well. For me and her to be on here as well, which is great. And it's the same very much. Yeah.
That'd really be fun. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for your time as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
And God bless. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the 20th.
And you. Thank you. Take care as well.
Bye-bye. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Well, yeah, that was Mark Unique Fowler, and what a lovely bloke. What a lovely bloke. When I first heard his name, I thought, he's from EastEnders, Mark Fowler. That's what I thought. But what a good bloke. What a nice person he is, and go and follow him, guys, and I like his costumes. I want his hat, I love his hat. I want his hat. I don't think he'll give me his hat now. No. Anyway, guys, I've got to go. I am that. I'm going to drink my Coke and I am Diet Pepsi Max. And anyway, we're back on tomorrow. Look on my radio station. I think we got love songs on tonight from 10 o'clock onwards all night. So anyway, so if you're in love, want to listen to the love songs. If you're not, well, don't bother, Anyway, good night, guys. Good night, everybody, and stay safe. And as I keep saying, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.